Payroll continues exceeding budget. Could finance explain how labor costs are affecting hotel profitability?
Certainly. Labor cost is one of the largest controllable expenses within hotel operations and has a direct impact on GOP performance. Although revenue has remained strong, payroll growth has outpaced top-line growth over the past quarter, which is creating margin pressure. The main drivers include overtime expense, banquet staffing requirements, and continued labor market inflation. From a profitability standpoint, maintaining operational efficiency while controlling labor cost escalation will be critical moving forward.
What are the biggest challenges associated with overtime management?
The primary challenge is balancing service quality with cost discipline. In hospitality operations, overtime often increases during high occupancy periods, banquet events, and unexpected staffing shortages. However, excessive overtime can quickly reduce productivity efficiency and negatively impact profitability. In addition, long working hours may increase employee fatigue and turnover risk over time. Stronger scheduling discipline, manpower forecasting, and cross-department coordination are necessary to manage overtime more effectively.
Should hotels reduce manpower during low season?
I believe staffing adjustments during low season should be managed carefully. From a financial perspective, aligning staffing levels with business volume is important for cost efficiency. However, aggressive manpower reductions may negatively affect service standards, employee morale, and operational flexibility. Instead of major headcount cuts, hotels should focus on flexible staffing strategies, multi-skilling, cross-training, and optimized scheduling. The objective should be sustainable productivity improvement rather than short-term labor reductions.
How can productivity be measured fairly across departments?
Productivity should be evaluated using both financial and operational indicators. Common measurements include payroll ratio, labor cost per occupied room, revenue per employee, and departmental productivity ratios. However, performance evaluation must also consider operational complexity and guest service expectations. For example, luxury hospitality naturally requires higher staffing levels compared to select service properties. Therefore, productivity measurement should balance efficiency, service quality, and operational realities rather than focusing only on cost reduction.
Which departments typically exceed payroll budgets the most?
Departments with highly variable operational demand usually experience the greatest payroll pressure. Banquets and F&B operations often exceed payroll budgets due to event-driven staffing requirements and overtime exposure. Housekeeping can also face labor challenges during periods of high occupancy or rapid room turnover. In addition, kitchens frequently experience productivity pressure because labor scheduling must align closely with business volume fluctuations. These areas require particularly strong manpower planning and operational coordination.
Operations cannot continue cutting labor without affecting service quality.
I completely understand that concern. The objective is not simply reducing labor hours, but improving workforce efficiency and resource allocation. In luxury hospitality, guest experience must always remain protected. Therefore, finance should work together with operations to identify smarter scheduling practices, productivity improvements, and operational process efficiencies. Sustainable labor optimization requires collaboration rather than aggressive cost-cutting measures.
What should be our top manpower priority next quarter?
I would prioritize 3 key areas. First, improving overtime control through stronger scheduling discipline and manpower forecasting. Second, increasing workforce flexibility through cross-training and multi-skilling initiatives. Third, closely monitoring departmental productivity ratios to ensure staffing levels remain aligned with business demand. If we improve labor efficiency while maintaining Marriott service standards, we should see stronger profitability flow through next quarter.
Can payroll ratio return to budget?
Yes, I believe payroll ratio can gradually return closer to budget, but it will require a balanced and operationally realistic approach. Labor cost pressure has been influenced by occupancy recovery, overtime exposure, labor market inflation, and service expectations. Improving payroll ratio sustainably will depend on stronger manpower planning, productivity improvement, and better alignment between staffing levels and business demand. However, aggressive labor reduction may negatively affect guest experience and employee morale. The objective should be long-term workforce efficiency rather than short-term cost-cutting.
Are staffing levels too high?
I believe staffing levels should be evaluated based on operational complexity, service standards, and business volume rather than headcount alone. In luxury hospitality, labor requirements are naturally higher because guest expectations and service delivery standards are more demanding. Some departments may have opportunities for scheduling optimization or productivity improvement, particularly during low demand periods. However, reducing staffing excessively could create operational strain, service inconsistency, and higher turnover risk. Workforce structure should remain aligned with both profitability goals and guest experience expectations.
Should automation replace certain roles?
Automation can improve efficiency in certain administrative and repetitive processes, particularly within reporting, scheduling, and transactional workflows. However, hospitality remains fundamentally people-driven, especially in luxury environments where personalized guest interaction is extremely important. I believe automation should support employees, rather than simply replace them. The strongest operational model usually combines technology efficiency with human service quality. Over time, some roles may evolve significantly, but guest-facing hospitality still depends heavily on human connection and operational judgment.
How do we reduce turnover?
Reducing turnover requires a combination of leadership support, career development, operational stability, and employee engagement. In hospitality environments, employees are more likely to stay when they feel supported, recognized, and provided with growth opportunities. Competitive compensation is important, but leadership culture, communication quality, and work environment often have equally strong influence on retention. Cross-training, mentorship, and clearer career progression pathways can also strengthen long-term employee commitment.
Can productivity improve without burnout?
Yes, I believe sustainable productivity improvement should come from smarter operations rather than simply increasing workload pressure. Better scheduling, cross-training, process optimization, and technology support can improve efficiency without negatively affecting employee well-being. Burnout typically occurs when operational pressure becomes consistently unbalanced, without adequate support or staffing flexibility. Long-term productivity depends not only on operational discipline, but also on employee morale, engagement, and leadership support.
How do we maintain service standards with tighter labor controls?
Maintaining service standards under tighter labor control requires stronger operational efficiency, planning, and cross-department coordination. The focus should be improving productivity and workflow efficiency, rather than simply reducing labor hours. Cross-training, smarter scheduling, and better demand forecasting can help optimize manpower utilization while protecting guest experience. In luxury hospitality, consistency and responsiveness remain critical, so labor controls must remain operationally realistic and carefully balanced.
Should banquet staffing models be revised?
Yes, I believe banquet staffing models should be reviewed regularly because banquet operations are highly variable and labor-intensive. Flexible staffing structures, improved event forecasting, and closer coordination between sales, operations, and HR can help improve labor efficiency significantly. Casual labor usage, overtime exposure, and event complexity should all be analyzed carefully when evaluating staffing models. The objective is creating a more scalable and demand-driven workforce structure while maintaining service quality during peak event periods.